Hello and welcome back in this very awesome and special requested video by Mr. Dave Jange. So he requested, and I quote, "Bshar, please make a car with the highest MPG and the lowest body weight and also costing the least money to produce. Thank you." Alright, so this is an easy challenge, an easy car to make. It's not really hard to make a very lightweight car, but the challenge is to make it light, cheap, and of course economical, and with a hint of sporty driving, because as we all know, economical cars are really boring, except of course if you are driving a Tesla. A Tesla is another world of economical car, because it's an electric car. It's very monster quick. But no, I'm talking about fuel, regular piston engined cars with economical values. These tend to be very boring. So in this car here, I tried really hard to make it as light as possible, as cheap as possible, as economical as possible, and I'm not gonna say as sporty as possible, but I'm gonna say with the hint of sporty driving, and with a sporty top speed and good acceleration time, and of course good cornering speed, and you get the message. A perfect package. So let's start with the chassis and the body and whatever options I have chosen. But before we start with these, I would love to remind you guys, please, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, get subscribed, and share the video if you want to share it. And now let's start with every possible option on the vehicle. So I have chosen steel panels because steel is safe, it's cheap, but it's a little bit heavy. And if you are wondering why I did not choose aluminium or partial aluminium, because aluminium is more expensive, it's less safe, and it will take as you can see, it's actually perfect. It's not bad at all, but unfortunately it's very expensive, and I don't want to make this car much more expensive. The challenge is to make it as cheap as possible and as safe as possible. And with aluminium, it will get more expensive, and it will get less safe, and with less safe body and chassis, I will have to choose more safety equipments, more high safety equipments, and it will make it much more heavier that way. So you need to find a silver lining between a safe chassis, safe body, and then choose you need to choose the best and the lightest safety equipments later, so you can make it as light as possible. Because if you chose here like an aluminium or partial aluminium or even fiberglass is really bad in safety. If you choose fiberglass here later, you have to choose very advanced safety equipment, so the customers will like it and buy it, and that will make it much more heavy. But if you choose steel, which is very safe, and later you can choose very minimum safety equipments, and that will make it much lighter, actually much lighter than aluminium, I promise you that. So I've chosen monocoque chassis type, also with steel, for the same reason, for safety, because as you can see, I can choose advanced high strength steel, which is more safe than regular steel, but unfortunately it will cost a lot of money. As you can see, material cost, there is a plus sign. With steel there are three minuses, and that's what I want. So you get the point here. I'm trying to find the silver lining between safety, lightweight, and economical as well. Front transverse, I can make it more compact, and to have more, as you can see, cabin volume is too much, which is what I want, and cooling capacity, which is good, and which will make the car much more reliable. As you can see, engineering time, the same goes for both ways. McPherson strut front suspension, for the same reason, because I want to make it more compact and much light. As you can see, weight, there is a minus sign. With double wishbone, there is a dot, which is more heavy. The same goes for solid axle coil and solid leaf. On the rear, I have chosen double wishbone because I want to find also the silver lining for lightweight and comfortable and sporty. If I want to go super light, I can go with push rods, but push rods will be much more expensive, and it will take much longer time to be engineered and to be produced, and I don't want that. So double wishbone is the easy option to go with. Zero quality on the chassis, because increasing the quality more, it will result in much more engineering time, much more high engineering time, and more expensive chassis to be produced. Putting the quality to minus, it will result in cheap chassis, less engineering time, but it will be a rubbish chassis. It will be not safe, it will be less safe, and it will be just, the customers will hate it. So keep it on 0. Moving on, this is the engine that I have chosen. Well, if you are building an economical cheap engine, you can go with -15 quality on everything, and the people or the customers will like it, and you can make actually a good amount of power and good amount of fuel economy out of this cheap engine. So as you can see, I already made this inline 4 aluminum silicon block, 79.3 mm on the bore, 86 mm on the bore, which equals 1.7 liter engine, not 1.6. It's a 1.7 liter engine, a 1699 cc engine with dual overhead camshaft with 4 valves per cylinder, aluminum silicon cylinder head with variable valve lift technology, cast iron crankshaft, cast connecting rods, and low friction cast pistons, because low friction cast will make much more fuel efficiency, because they will not wear out quickly, and because of the friction. Low friction cast pistons are the best option to go with if you are aiming for a much more economical engine, because they will not rub as much as regular cast pistons on the cylinder walls. Right, let's move on. We have -15 quality basically on every possible option on this engine, with 10.0 to 1 compression ratio, 38 on the cam profile, 48 on the VVL profile, with variable valve timing on all cams. If you are wondering why the VVL profile is just +10 over the cam profile, because with this profile, 38 on the cam, 48 on the VVL profile, you will have the highest amount of fuel efficiency and the highest amount of power as well. I'm not talking maxed horsepower, no, this is not max horsepower, but you will find this is the silver lining between horsepower and fuel efficiency, and a smooth curve. -15 quality. Moving on, we have a single turbo with ball bearing internals, 152 horsepower supported intercooler with custom turbocharger, 35 mm on the compressor, 28.4 mm on the turbine, 0.835 on the AR ratio, and 7.37 psi of boost with -15 quality and turbo. Direct fuel injection, single throttle body, standard intake manifold, premium 95 octane fuel. Yes, I needed premium 95 octane because this engine has a very high compression ratio, and with a turbocharger on it and a good amount of ignition timing and the least amount of fuel, as you can see, you need high grade octane fuel. Air fuel ratio is 14.9, which is extremely lean. Ignition timing 58, which is nearly on the advanced side, with 6,100 on the RPM limit, and -15 quality on the fuel system. Actually, putting a -15 quality, it will result in much less fuel efficiency, but it will make the engine production units and engineering time much less, which is what I want, and it will make the engine much cheap. Let's see, we have a short cast header, single exhaust pipe, 1.8-inch exhaust diameter or 44.4 mm, high flow 3-way Carolina converter, and no first muffler and reverse flow second muffler. Also, the same goes for minus quality exhaust system. It will make the engine to produce less horsepower, and sometimes it will make the engine to produce more fuel efficiency, which is what happening here. -15 quality exhaust system tend to produce more fuel efficiency, but it made the engine a little bit more loud because of the cheap made muffler. It will make the exhaust to sound much more louder, which is acceptable. It's not bad. 37 point. This is a sporty note for the engine, which car enthusiasts will tend to appreciate, but regular customers, I think they will hate the engine a little bit because of this loud muffler, but it will make the car to sound much more cool, actually, as I will demonstrate right now. So as you can see, these are the final options: 103 horsepower, 135 pound-feet of torque. The engine has good amount of reliability, not bad at all for a -15 quality engine. The engine is actually medium on the weight. It's not that heavy, it's not that light, it's in between. Material cost cheap, as you can see. Production units very low, which is perfect. Engineering time also very low, very perfect. Emissions are not bad. I'm using all the available octane, 32.3% of fuel efficiency, which is very good. Let's see, service cost very good, engine smoothness very normal, throttle response very good, noise not bad at all. So let's fire it up. What I really like about this engine is the torque. The torque or the turbo will kick in very early at 2000 RPM. The turbo will kick in, and all of the torque will come very early, which is what I really like about this engine, and which is what makes this engine very perfect for daily driving, city driving car. Let's move on. So I have chosen this 2003 hatchback. I think if you watched like most of my economical cars, you will be familiar with this body, because lately, I mean, I've been searching really a lot on the Steam Workshop to find a perfect body to make more economical hatchbacks, but unfortunately no one actually is interested in making a tiny hatchbacks. I mean, most of the cars on Steam Workshops are like supercars, hypercars, daily driving city sedans or SUVs, but not tiny hatchbacks. So this is the lightest, and not the lightest, this is the tiniest body that I have in automation game, right? I mean, till now, but hopefully soon I will find more bodies to work with much less and much smaller cars maybe in the future. So as you can see, body quality and the fixture quality is -15 on both. And I have chosen this economical green color so I can give you the idea of how economical this car is. Also the same color for the brake calipers as well. So let's move on. These are the fixtures that I've chosen. This see-through front grille, these angular looking headlights with the front logo, side mirrors, door handles with the keyhole. We have a fuel filler cap, these angry looking tiny tail lights with, of course, the license plate holder and the rear logo and the exhaust tip, and that's pretty much it with these rims, of course. So we have a front wheel drive transverse manual gearbox with 5-speed 5 ratios, because this is the perfect amount of gears for a day driving city driving economical car. As you can see, 205 on the gearbox top speed. No, the car will not reach 205, but with this final drive, with this amount of final drive gearing, it will make the most amount of fuel efficiency. Actually, if I increase it right now to 209, oh my god, I can make the final drive actually a lot larger, as you can see, like till 230 horsepower, sorry, not horsepower, 230 kilometers per hour, and it will increase the miles per gallon a lot. I mean, to 62.7, but it will kill the 0 to 100 time. So let's try and fix that using more gear spacing. So the silver lining here is 39, 230 kilometers per hour on the gearbox top speed, or the final drive, and yes, as you can see, so the final drive, as you can see, 3.87 to 1, and yes, the spacing is 39, which makes the 0 to 100 time in 8.5 seconds, and it will give me a good miles per gallon, which is 62.5, which is the silver lining here. 5-speed, perfect. Open differential, of course. The engine is only producing 100 horsepower, so open differential seems to be perfect. The +1 quality on the gearbox and differential. Radial hard long life tires with 175 front and rear is the tire width. 13-inch rims diameter is the rims diameter, with 580 is the tire diameter. No offset on the rims. Steel material, because steel tend to be, I know it's heavy, it's not light at all, but the customers like it so much. And actually I have a target in my head for the final price, for the car price, for the car retail price, and I don't want to exceed that. And selecting steel rims, it will make it much perfect, and I will be on the target that in my head, and I will not exceed that target. +1 quality on the tires and the rims, which will make the rims a little bit more lighter, and it will put more high quality tires on the car. Ventilated front discs with one piston, 200 millimeters. Solid discs in the rear with one piston option, 180 millimeters on the rear rotors, 61 on the pad type, 74% on the brake base to the front, 26% to the rear with 0 quality. Fully clad under tray with cooling flaps, so I can make more fuel economy, or more miles per gallon. What cooling flaps means is that they are in the front, I'm gonna guess here, and the front grille. They will be like a big flap here, or they will be like a flaps, which will be controlled by electronical actuators, which will open or close according to the car, according to the driving behavior. If you are selecting, like, there will be a button or a mode inside the car with max fuel efficiency button or max eco. If you press that button, these actuators will open or close to make as much fuel efficiency as possible without overheating the engine. That's perfect. I love this option so much if you are building an economical car. With 53 on the engine cooling and 100 on the brake cooling, with +3 quality on the aerodynamics. As you can see, I have chosen 2 seats only, so this is like a coupe, and 2 seats only, basic interior, basic entertainment system with -15 quality, so I can make it as light as possible and cheap as possible. Electric variable power steering in the front with the electronic stability control, 0 quality, because increasing the quality more, it will result in much high price and much more engineering time and production unit time, and I don't want that, so 0 quality is the best option to go with. Standard 10s safety equipments, which is the lightest and the best option to go with, and the most favorable option actually by customers. So yeah, standard 10s is the best option with -1 quality, so I can make it a little bit lightweight. The suspension is progressive springs, gas mono tube dampers, semi-active sway bars with very much custom suspension setup, positive ½ a degree of camber in the front, negative 1 degree of camber in the rear. Spring stiffness is 1.60 in the front, 1.80 in the rear. Damper stiffness is 1.0 in the front, 1.20 in the rear. Sway bar thickness is 4,600 in the front and 2,400 in the rear, with 196.2 millimeters on the ride height and -15 quality on the suspension. And these are all of the available options on the car: the engine, the quality, the fuel efficiency, everything. And this is the bit that I really love: the market. The car, my friend, with 10% margin, it will cost you $8,475. Nearly $8.5 grand, and that's the target that I was in my head, $8,500, and I made it with a little bit less than that, $8,475. Extremely cheap, and as you can see, the car is drivable, it's sporty, and it's a little bit comfortable. Prestige, no, don't look here. It's safe, it's practical. Utility points, not bad actually, but there is a big boot or a big trunk, because there are no rear seats, so you can put absolutely a big amount of cargo in the rear. Reliability, it's not bad actually, it's nearly 60 point, and 60 point I consider it very good. Environmental resistance, well, because I have chosen a steel chassis, a regular steel chassis. It will tend to rust, I think, in the future, but I mean, it's not bad. And check out the fuel economy, 62.5 miles per gallon for a steel chassis and steel body, a regular heavy steel, and then the car is making only 62.5 miles per gallon, which is perfect, very perfect. And the emissions are very low. The car is clean, it's economical, it's perfect, and the material cost will only cost $3,000, which is really cheap. Engineering time is very little, production units is very acceptable, and the track test, as you can see, the car will only weighs 865 kilos, which is very lightweight. Weight distribution is nearly perfect. No, this is not a towing machine, but the load capacity is very good, 457 kilograms. No brake fading, stopping distance is perfect, roll angle is very good, radius, the cornering G's is very good for a regular daily driving car. The car can go 193 kilometers per hour, the top speed of it, which is very good, not slow at all. 0 to 100 time in 8.5 seconds or 8.47 seconds, which is not bad for a 100 horsepower car. It's actually quick, it's not slow. Quarter mile time is 16.5, not bad also for a tiny economical car. And as you can see, I already ran, but not this long test track, because I was testing what kind of speed we will reach here, but we will try it later. Let's start with the airfield test track. Ready, steady, and go. Not bad, the acceleration is good. 100, 110, 120, 130, 40. Perfect. Wow, actually the car did 1 minute 37.18, which is not bad. I mean, it's like the what used to call the reasonable price car. Do you remember the reasonable price car in the Top Gear test, in the Top Gear show, which made like 1 minute 40, 1 minute 42, whatever the number was. I remember it was in the 40s. So this one, it did it 1 minute 37. Which is actually good, which is very good. It's similar to that car actually. If you look very closely, this is like a two-seater version of I don't know what the Lassetti, the Chevrolet Lassetti as they used to use, and then that Vauxhall after it. So you can see it's very similar to it. It's a two-seater, very lightweight version of it with a 100 horsepower engine, a very economical engine, and it's making a very good time, and it's very sporty. It's very good actually, and it's very cheap. So let's go to the automation test track and see what kind of speed we'll reach here. Hopefully we will get very close to the top speed. Alright, so it did it in 2 minutes 39.84 seconds, which is not bad. I mean, for a 100 horsepower engine, lightweight, economical car, it's not bad at all. And around these corners, actually, it was redlining a lot, and that was really awesome to hear the engine redlining. And the actually we have reached like 186 kilometers per hour, which is very nearly to the top speed. So the car is actually sporty, it's economical, it's very awesome around the test track. I know it's not really exciting, or no, not exciting, it's very exciting actually, but it's not really that much quick around the test track. But actually you can enjoy and redline the engine all the way, which is really awesome. So I really hope that you enjoy the video, and it's really awesome to make this kind of amazing tiny economical cars. As always, please, if you enjoy the video, hit that like button, get subscribed if you are new to the channel, and watch all my previous videos, because I promise you will like them. I made like over 650 videos of automation, so I made everything you ever dream of. 1000 horsepower cars, hypercars, supercars, economical cars, muscle cars, SUVs, drag racing SUVs, drag racing hatchbacks. We made everything, my friends, and I'm really happy that maybe I'm not really sure, but maybe I think the developers will be upgrading the game with Boxer engines. I'm really excited for it, and I cannot wait to see and to work on Boxer engines, because I've actually never ever worked on Boxer engines, but I'm really happy to report that when they are available, when these engines are available, I'll be making like Porsche engines, Subaru engines, or Subaru engines, Subaru, whatever you want to call it, and a lot of amazing classic Boxer engines, like the classic 911 carbureted Boxer engines. I really love these engines so much, and I cannot wait, and I really cannot wait to start working on them, turbocharging them, or making them economical with 1000 horsepower, whatever the options are. So thank you so much guys for watching, and please stay tuned for more amazing videos like this one and even more. And thank you so much guys for watching. I'm gonna see you with more requested videos and more cool videos like this one and even more. And goodbye for now, my friends, and have an amazing happy day or an evening.